So a lot of Deontay Wilder haters, they have their panties in a bunch right now because the LDBC has reported on what happened in this fight with Luis Ortiz. And I wish I could just sit down and try to understand the mind of these haters. I don't really care like what their answer is, but I just want to ask them like, what is it okay for us to do? What would you have us do? You don't want us to talk about shit that happens, okay? Even if it's a fact, even if you saw the same thing, you don't want us to talk about it because you're going to come and say, oh, look at them over exaggerating, acting like as if this was something huge or something, you know what I mean? Now, you guys ran around all that time talking about how Wilder was ducking Ortiz and he was scared to fight him, even when Ortiz popped dirty for some shit. You were like, oh, he still could have fought him anyway and all this shit. So he fought him anyway, okay? Gave him another shot. He goes in there and he beats him, and now nobody's supposed to say nothing about it. We're all just supposed to be quiet. If we just report, if we're just happy for our guy, these guys, these haters, they get their panties in a bunch, and I just don't understand it, man. What do you want us to do? Are we allowed to do anything? Are we allowed to say or do anything? Or do you just want us to just shut up and just not do anything? You want us to all just shut our channels down and just go away? Is that what it is? Because you guys aren't getting any attention? Is that what it is? I just don't get it, man. I really don't. Why don't you guys just leave us alone, man? That's what I don't understand. Like, if you hate the LDBC that bad, why are you always the first to show up and always the first to make a video talking shit? I don't understand that, man. I don't. Like, I haven't been to a lot of these guys' channel in a long time. Sometimes I revisit them just to see them hating and shit, every once in a while. But for the most part, I'm not like how I used to be. I used to be sub to these guys and I used to watch them on a daily basis. Man, I haven't been to like Fig Newton's page and I couldn't tell you how long. I haven't even visited his page to see what he had to say about the Wilder fight. I'm sure he was on some hating shit as usual. Talking about LDBC this and that. You know what I mean? Because that's all that dude does. He built a whole following off of just hating on people and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he thinks he's doing something. But I stopped watching a lot of people, man. Because I realized that all they want to do is just argue no matter what. And they'll switch shit around just depending on what the situation is. That's what they do. But we're happy for Deontay Wilder. I was nervous as hell watching that fight. Okay, there was a point in time where I thought that he was about to be up out of there, man. He looked like he was out on his feet in one of them rounds. And, I think that it was very fortunate that that happened to him at the end of the round. Because if that had continued, man, the referee probably would have jumped in, man, to stop the fight. Because he wasn't really responding the right way. And in the post-fight interview, he said that he wasn't really hurt bad or anything. He was just kind of getting knocked around by his power a little bit, but nothing was really cleanly landing or anything like that. He was just trying to get himself together, but, he has to figure out a faster way to get himself together, a more effective way to get himself together because he just looks very vulnerable at times, and I would also like to see Wilder settle down just a little bit when he gets his opponent hurt. Now, don't get me wrong. He got him out of there and he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. I was very, very happy. But I think that, he overreacts sometimes when he gets his opponents hurt. And he becomes very wild and he leaves himself open. It's worked for him so far, but one day, man, I just fear that he's going to get caught with some shit when he tries to jump on somebody. Because if I was a heavyweight fighter and I had to fight him, I'll play possum like a motherfucker on his ass, okay? And let him think that he's got me, and try to catch him with some shit. That's what Muhammad would do to him. You know what I mean? So he's just got to be careful with that. But that's really my only gripe with it. Fight started out kind of slow. The first half of the fight, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a dry fight, but there was some drama for both of them in the fight, and it turned out very well. So I'm very, very happy to see the result of that. I'm pretty sure that Anthony Joshua probably shitted in his pants. They're still going to try to avoid that fight. Don't think that it's going to happen at the end of this year or anything like that. Just forget about it, man. I'm not going to get my hopes up. When I see the fight signed and I see the first press conference, then I'll have some faith that fight is going to happen. But until then, man, I see them still trying to push that shit off, man. I really do. Big Baby Miller's ass is coming up in here trying to slide up in there and shit and try to prolong what we want to see even longer. He's trying to get a fight. And my thing is, why are you hating on Deontay Wilder? Nobody knows Big Baby Miller. I mean, we do because we follow this shit. But ask the casual fan who kind of knows a few people here and there. People know who Wilder is, man. Because I talk to people about it, okay? They know who Wilder is. I had some friends who don't really watch boxing who asked me, hey, did you see, that fight? What'd you think about that fight? With the Cuban dude. You know what I mean? They didn't even really know Ortiz. What'd you think about that Wilder fight? So they know who Wilder is. You know what I mean? But if I said, hey, man, what do you think about Big Baby Miller? They're going to be, huh? Who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows who that dude is, man. We don't want to see that dude fight anybody. I don't. I can give a damn about Big Baby Miller. He's just another obstacle in the way of me seeing the fight that I want to see as far as I'm concerned. And it seems like he's just trying to slide that way in there. He's talking about Wilder doesn't deserve a fight. Why does Big Baby Miller deserve a fight then over Deontay Wilder? Who is he beat that's on the level of Luis Ortiz? Or even Vladimir Klitschko, like AJ beat. I'll wait. I'll wait for the damn answer. But I already know what the answer is. So Big Baby Miller needs to take a big fucking seat down somewhere, okay? And he needs to have the biggest, tallest fucking glass to shut the fuck up, okay? Because I don't give a damn about no Big Baby Miller. But congratulations to Wilder. The haters are just going to have to keep hating, man. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't know what the big deal is. You know what? I kind of do know what it is. You guys are afraid that Anthony Joshua is going to get knocked off, man. That's what it is. It has to be, man. It has to be. I ain't never made no excuses for a fighter that I liked and I support. I have never made no excuses to say, well, I don't want to see that fight. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever done that. If I have, let me know, but I don't remember ever doing that shit. Okay, the closest thing to that, I remember I was saying that Floyd Mayweather shouldn't fight Canelo Alvarez years ago before the fight actually took place. I was saying that he didn't really have to fight, dude. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really have to fight him, but it was a good fight for him to take, and I'm glad that he did it after all. But that's the only time I can ever remember saying, I don't want to see a fighter that I support fight this fighter or that fighter. If they lose, fuck it, but I want to see them beat the best so that I can be even a bigger fan of that fighter and say, look, he didn't beat this guy, that guy, that guy. That's what I like, man. And AJ fans don't seem to have, they don't seem to have that, man. They want him to take the easiest touches that he can get, and that's it. And they would be happy if he never fought Deontay Wilder, and that's what I don't get. Do you hate Wilder that much that you just don't want to see him make any money? Is that what it is? Or are you just afraid and scared to death that your guy might lose because his chin is very, very questionable? And if he gets caught the way that he did by a 40-year-old Klitschko and knocked on his ass, by Wilder, I don't think that he's going to be able to recover, man. I don't. So hopefully that fight takes place. I'm thinking next year, man. I'm thinking 2019, man. I really am. And I'm talking the end of that shit, okay? Before we even see that fight. I don't think it's happening this year. But you guys leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Deuce.